Hello everyone, Argsy here. Welcome back to the Canadian Cattle Farmer here in Chilliwack, British Columbia. We are getting straight into going and loading up all the straw we have baled on the 2 wheat fields, and there is quite a lot of it. It's going to take us a wee while, but that is our first task today. Get in here and get these fields cleaned off, because we'd like to get some slurry spread on them and start thinking about what we're going to have to do to prep these for next season. We've got a lot in this field and also the ones over on the other field. I've decided to start in this one because we've still got the windrow running over on the other field as well in the hay, and we want to wait until they are completely finished before we set a worker going on the hay baling, and I'd like to be over in that straw field while they're doing that, just so I can keep an eye on it to make sure nothing goes awry. We've already got the wheel loader all set up over here. Now we are going to use our little trick we've been using on this series, which is basically pick up the bales, stack them, and then take them to the truck and use the auto load on the back of the truck just to make our job a little bit easier. But the majority of the time we are going to be going around and picking these all up and taking them still to the truck, so we're not completely using auto drive, but it is just making our job just a little bit easier. Now the other issue we have is we don't actually have anywhere to store these bales, because both the barns have bales in them. We've got the round straw in one and the clover hay in the other, so we might have to just use the auto load unload, get that wiggled around so we can get that bale pushed and lined up. We might have to use the auto load unload to just go and stack them somewhere around the farm, somewhere convenient that they're not going to get in the way, and then we'll have to pick them up later and move them and put them into one of the barns once we have some space. We're going to have the same issue with the hay, and I am considering taking all the clover hay out. There's only about 17 bales left. Taking those all out and putting them on the ground somewhere, and putting the new hay bales into the storage. So that is the plan. That is our tasks for today. I'm going to get up here. Hopefully I haven't turned the auto load on yet, so we should put these up on the back of the trailer. Oh no, it is activated, so we can rely on those to start stacking. Anyhow, let's jump into it. Throw into a little bit of a time lapse here as we get these loaded up and stacked, and we'll see you over back at the farm once we're ready to unload. I was giving it some thought, and there was a couple of places I thought we could put bales. One of them's just here, which is what we're actually going to do. Dump these just off here, and we'll be able to come back and pick them up at a later date. The other option was to put them over at the end of the cow barn, but I decided they might be in the way there, just with getting in and out of the field and in and out of the feed point through the back of the barn. So I decided to come and put them over here. So try and get these offloaded. Just load there. Yeah, right, that's all done. 30 bales done. We'll get the rest of that field done in one more load, and then we'll be able to come over and start working on the other one. I did see, I think, the warning or the notification pop up to say that our windrow has finished, which is good. Could have just about looked over there, but I think they will be done. So we'll be able to, once we've finished here, we're going to get a worker set up and start baling, and we'll be able to carry on with the straw over the other side. And then once we've done that, which should only be a couple of loads, I think we ended up with 51. So again, should only be a couple of loads out of that field, and the rate we got this one done was pretty fast. Pretty impressed with it actually. So we'll carry on, get this one finished off, up over the road, get the hay started, and finish the straw loading up over on that side as well. Alright, well we've got the truck unloaded. A little bit of a faux pas driving past it with the auto load still enabled and wrecked my pile. So we've tidied that up. Look back there, you might see it. Well, not quite, but we do have that there. I managed to stack the other ones on top. It's looking pretty good now. But with the windrow finished, I decided we'd get in here and get the baler up and going. So they're getting the first bale made there. Be coming out back the press very quickly. In fact, very quickly. This looks like it could be a very healthy crop of hay. So we're going to leave them running here while we carry on with unloading or loading the bales out of the other field. 2 more trips, we should be done. But we're going to have a substantial amount of straw, and I think by the time we finish baling this, we're going to have a substantial amount of hay. So we'll leave them running here for a little bit. We will go and get the straw sorted out, and then hopefully we'll be able to jump in here and finish off a little bit of baling before they're completely done, just to give us a little bit of a break from loading and stacking bales. Back into the wheel loader, a bit more rinse and repeat here with loading bales. Sorry, it's a little bit samey, it's a little bit more of the same, but it is a job we need to do, and we'll get it done as quickly as we can. So let's carry on, get the field finished off. 51 bales, so it will be 2.5 loads. Shouldn't take us too long though. We're off with another load to go and get this dropped off. I'm not going to lie, that was quite possibly some of the worst bale stacking I have done myself, and hence the reason you're not seeing any of it. I'm too embarrassed. Stick around, there might be some bloopers at the end, but that was pretty horrendous. But we're done, and we're going to go and get this one unloaded as well, and then we've got about 20 bales to go. Baler's just about going around the second headland pass. Hey, they might have a little bit of a problem over there in the corner. I know why that is. Windrow's there. Windrow's in the way. We better get over while we're here and clear that windrow out of the way so they can keep going. And we will let them get around the headlands, and that'll be good timing. Actually means we can do the main rows here. But let's get this unloaded by once first, and let's try and get that squared up a little bit, and then we'll have a pretty decent stack of bales sitting out here for when we need it. Alright, there we go. Baler back underway, and that stack's looking pretty neat now. So let's go and carry on. Last 20 or so bales. There we go, last couple of bales on the back of the truck, and that is us cleared. Not too bad at all. Looking at the baler, they have definitely made it round 3. They might be starting up and down. Yes, they are. They're going up and down on this side, which isn't too bad. Quite a bit of the field to go, but that's good timing. We'll just bring this back down here and park it on the edge of the field, because obviously we're going to need this to go around and load all the hay up. Although I'm getting a little bit nervous looking at all this hay that's being produced. Maybe it's time we invest in a Argsy bale stacker or something like that. I think it might make our job just a little bit easier rather than what we're doing now. But anyhow, it is quite good to be able to get 30 bales on the back of the truck. Right, let's head on around. I'm not going to make the same mistake I made last time. I'm going to turn off my auto load. Make sure when we drive up next to our bale stack that we're not going to have any issues. So we'll go and get this unloaded, and then we'll come down and jump in the baler for a bit. Alright, there we go. And do you know what? Just looking at that, we ended up with exactly the same amount of bales off both fields, which I guess makes sense considering we ended up with about 700 litres of wheat difference between the two. If you saw the last video, last episode, I did go back and review that, and I think there was 764 or something like that litres difference between the two. So you definitely saw the bonus precision farming gave the smaller field. We had the better yielding soils and just the higher potential for a good crop. Anyhow, let's head on over this way. We're going to take over from the worker for a little bit. We're going to jump over into the baler and get some hay baled. We'll turn on and we'll carry on going. Looks like we're just having a little bit of an issue with the pickup there. There's quite a bit of hay, which isn't ideal, being left on the field at the moment. So, I don't know, maybe we do. I talked about it last time. Maybe we do have to look at picking up a different windrower, maybe look at one of those new Oxbow mergers or something like that, and see if that will work better in these fields. But we're doing alright. We can definitely navigate across this. I think the issue might be that the windrow offsets slightly, so when we're following the same course by course, it hasn't quite stayed as aligned as it might have otherwise, because there certainly is, looking back across that field, there certainly is a lot that we've missed. There's also this inconvenient lump at the end here, which is when the windrower started the up and down rows, it picked that up and took it out of the end row. But anyhow, come back and tidy that up. So let's carry on. Some more hay made. We're going to end up with a bumper crop of hay off here, just looking at how many bales have been made already. We're getting 2 or 3 bales off each run. We're going to end up with a decent amount of hay, which is good. Replenishing the feed supplies, making sure we've got everything keep those hungry cows fed. So we've finally got to the end of the field here. That has been a mammoth effort. There is a lot of hay bales out there. I can't actually tell you how many there is because I did actually stop halfway through the recording and restart the save the game and restart. So I can't even look at how many bales we produced in the session to be able to tell us how many there are total. That one off, probably fold off. Drop off when we fold it up. However, we will be able to tell once we get these all put up into storage and see how many there are in the shed. Now, there is actually quite a bit of grass out there that's been missed, the windrow mist, the baler mist and things like that. So you could probably actually go out there and get another half dozen bales, I reckon, but I don't think it's quite worth it. The amount we've got, I am intrigued. I did wonder about putting a merger in the field, running one round and just seeing how much grass we can pick up and build one big windrow in the middle. And I might do that anyhow just for the laughs and see what we get, but for the farm we're not going to bother about that. We are going to make things do there. So with that parked up, we now need to go and get them all off the field. I'm just going to head through here because what we need to do is have a look in here. Got 15 over hay bales, I think. Yeah, 15 out of 448 over hay bales. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those all out. We might move them over and stack them just in here and use those up, and then that means we can use the rest of this shed, or this whole shed here, for all our hay, and get that into here and not to worry about where it all goes. So rather than having to stack it somewhere and move it again later, put it in now. Just have those ones out. We'll chew through them pretty quick once we get into making some more food. So just into the trigger, back to there now, find all 15 of them, get them to spawn. There we go, things are empty now in the shed. We should be able to come in here. And if we do that again, somewhere, where is it? Here we go. We want to change our configuration. We want to go and find 240 centimeter hay bales. I think are the big ones. Those ones there, they might actually be that size there. Did have the clover 240, 12090 and 240. So 12090, 240 is that one there. So we'll configure it for that. If they don't fit in when we try and do it, we'll know why. There we go. We'll go and get those moved. We'll have to grab the wheel loader. We'll have to grab the truck, and we'll go and start getting the other bales all loaded up as well. So first things first, let's get these clover bales out of the way. Now I have brought one of the grass bales over with me, so I thought we could put that in the trigger, be able to see if we've got that shed configured properly before we bring a whole truckload over. There we go, it has gone in and is now sitting in the shed, so we know we've got that right. Now we just need to get these all moved and put over here. Kind of spawned in a little bit of an awkward position really, not a huge amount of space around there, and are in quite big piles. So what we might do, I reckon we can carry 8 at once with this wheel loader. Let's see. We're going to do 8 or 4. Close enough there. It's not too sure whether it's going to have the strength to be able to pick them up. It does. That. It's pretty efficient. Now, we just have to be careful when we turn. Make sure we don't lose them all. But this is going to be what we'll do. Put these nosed in there. Come back and get the rest. Oh, we've managed to miss one. That's going to be frustrating. Oh goodness, and they're going to wobble all over the place, but that's alright. Right, that one down, only the left side's going to, right side sorry, is going to come off. Try and put this left side over on the other side. And knocking the other ones over. Let's see if we can do that. And you put that in there. We're going to use them pretty quick, so I'm not worried about being too neat and tidy. Here we go, that's got those done. Let's just try and do these. We'll take a pile of 3, grab the other pile of 3, and go and get them all put over there. There we go, that's those all stacked out of the way. Let's go and get a load of grass bales put on the back of the truck. Alright, first stack of 3 bales going on the back. I've already got one up there, just as I was driving over. I had to make sure that the auto load was turned on, and it is. There we go, that is our first 4. Looking across, like I said, there's a lot of bales here. Not as many as when we used the smaller bale, so I am certainly glad to have made that upgrade, but there is still quite a few to have to deal with. So let's just jump into it. We'll probably just quickly time-lapse this first load, see how we go, and then we'll just worry about getting it all done without boring you too much with too much bale stacking, and then we'll be able to figure out exactly how many bales we've ended up with off this field. little bit carried away there. I was actually enjoying loading the bales, and it all went surprisingly well compared to the straw, so I just carried on. Done the whole lot. I'm going to lose those ones if I don't keep moving. Oh, just about. Auto load's going to save us. There we go. I think there's 2 short of another load, so that's 28, and we've already taken 60. We must have ended up with 88 bales total by my calculations, which is pretty impressive. I guess now 7,500 litres each. I can't remember their total capacity, but it is a decent amount of hay we've got now in the shed. We'll just leave that part there for now, turned off. Go and grab the truck, and we'll come down and get this last load put in. Unload that there, and they're all gone. Let's have a look now. Shed looks fuller, but 89, because we already had one in there, didn't we? Bring that over with the wheel loader. So 89 total, and what does that equal at with capacity? We'll check, time saving stock check might tell us just that. Unfortunately not. It doesn't seem to read the hay as a storage option in there. So we've got the clover hay, which is out the grass silage in the bunker. We've got our straw, which is sitting on the edge of the field. We've got the whole crop silage there as well, but it's not reading up our grass hay. So that's alright, not to bother. We could always spawn and bale, in fact. Let's just do that really quickly. There we go, it tells us 8,000 litres. And we've got a total of 700,000 litres of hay. So that's pretty impressive off that one field, 700,000 litres of hay. So I'm very, very happy with that, and think that now that we've got that done, that is a perfect place to wrap up this episode. Next time we will be either applying some slurry to all of these fields, some lime and things like that, and getting them ready for the next crops, or we might have skipped forward time a little bit further. We might be jumping straight into the silage over the road, the maize, getting that chopped. Because obviously my main objective here is to leave the farm in a position I can hand it off to someone else, and that was really the last task, is to get the maize done. So whether we do any more field prep or not, I'm not quite sure yet, but we will keep on figuring things out, and when you see us back next, you will know exactly what we're up to. But anyhow, as always, hope you've enjoyed this episode. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.